Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the stream. It is 8 p.m. on July 28th, and we're about to bring you some top 8 action from the Old School Magic Summer Derby. So we've got Seth and Jason playing against each other tonight, and we're looking forward to a great match. Now, we've had both of them on the stream last week, and both of them won their respective matches, and Jason beat Seth's teammate, who was running the exact same deck. So who knows how this is going to pan out, but should be an interesting match for sure. So we're hoping that we have some good games of Magic coming at you. So just for those who are new to the stream, I appreciate you being here. Don't forget to follow. You could join me for my regularly scheduled stream. I play 3 rounds of Old School Magic every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern as part of the Northern Paladins Tuesday Night Gauntlet. So it's always a fun time for that, and I definitely am looking forward to doing many more Tuesday nights as well. Coming up also on stream this Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, I have my final race of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Duckling Derby. The Final Fantasy Randomizer is Final Fantasy for the NES. They shuffle up the locations of stuff, make the game a little bit faster, and then we race. It's like a speed run. The Duckling program was an 8-week boot camp where they get new players acclimated to the game. And then the Duckling Derby is a 4-week race, one race each week, and at the end they crown the highest finishing players. And my goal is to make top 10. So right now I am sitting in a tie for 10th place. So I'm hoping to have another good showing after that. So we are going to bring it in to the players, and I'd like to welcome back to the stream both of our players, Jason and Seth. Guys, thank you very much for joining me again tonight and allowing me to stream this match.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So, guys, thoughts on the matchup?
We were actually just talking about it. We think it's going to be, clearly Jason's played this literally 3 nights ago.
Yeah.
But we think it's going to be pretty good back and forth.
Yeah. I'm hoping that you guys put on a good show tonight. So. Yeah, Jason beat your teammate Michael Schaffenecker, who is running in the exact same main deck, but a couple of different sideboard slots. And then Seth, you beat your other teammate Pez Unholy. So let's hope that you guys have a good matchup. Okay, so Jason was the higher seed, correct? So Jason, you're going to play first?
Oh yeah, yep.
Okay, alrighty. And then did you guys do any mulligans?
We didn't look at our hands yet. We're waiting.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Yeah. Well, I will let you guys do your thing. I will mute myself in the room, and you guys have a good match. Take care.
Thank you. All right, man. Jason, good luck.
Good luck to you, man. Yep.
Okay. Well, here we go. I will do my best to keep accurate life totals on the stream for everybody. So, thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. This should be a good matchup. And away we go. Looks like Jason is still deciding whether or not he wants to mulligan. And he is. Okay, so that gives us a moment to take a look at the decks. Alright, so first we'll take a look at Jason's deck. This is his Troll Disco deck. Pretty standard list. We've got 4 Sedge Trolls, 4 Never Narrows discs, and some red and black cards that help kind of control things, along with some counter spells and whatnot, restricted cards. The fun part about his deck is that he's got 2 copies of Guardian Beast. Guardian Beast works extremely well with Chaos Orb. Guardian Beast gives indestructible to all non-creature artifacts that he controls. It does other things too, like they can't be targeted by enchantments and they can't switch control. But the important thing is that the Guardian Beast gives indestructible to the Chaos Orb. So Chaos Orb, when it destroys a permanent, it destroys itself as well. If it's indestructible, it can't be destroyed. So that means that all kinds of fun stuff going on with there. Also with the discs, the discs will stay alive and blow up the Guardian Beast. So basically you get double duty out of your disc. And then we will take a look at what Seth is running. So it's red, blue, and white aggro. We've got a little bit of black for the 2 restricted cards and 1 copy of Darrowlore. So it is pretty aggressive with the Lions and the Orders of Leaper. Plus at the top end you've got Sarah Angel and the aforementioned Darrowlore. And then all the burn spells with the lightning bolts, the chain lightnings, Cybelasts, and then white control with disenchants. And of course we've got all those fun restricted cards as well. So looking forward to a good match, and it looks like that the players are they have both mulligans, and looks like they are getting ready to go down to 6. So let's see what we got going on here. Drawing their 7 cards, taking a look, seeing if they're going to keep, and if so, they'll put 1 underneath. Great thing about old school Magic is that with very few exceptions, the contemporary Magic rules are used. Now, Mana Burn does still exist, and then Chaos Orb has errata so that it is actually functional. Chaos Orb can go for 1 permanent, chosen on resolution, as opposed to flipping it willy-nilly and doing a lot of things. So, all right, so both players keep, both players at 6 cards, and Jason leads off with Library of Alexandria. So excellent start for him. Not as great when it is on the play after a mulligan, but it could still end up being a pretty good card for him. Now, what's nice is that Jason, being the Troll Disco deck, does quite often want to be the control deck. So this early library could end up being pretty good for him. Seth goes Lotus, Factory, and Darrowlore. So Darrowlore is a 4/4 that is pretty beefy and is pretty tough to deal with. So we'll see exactly what happens when with that Darrowlore. Alright, so Jason drew a card, and he is playing a Strip Mine, tapping it, casting a Chaos Orb, and saying go. Alright, so that is an easy way for him to deal with the Darrellor. Seth did not play a white source, so instead he is activating his factory and he is swinging in for 6, so that brings Jason down to 14 life. Pretty aggressive, of course. 6 damage on turn 2 is nothing to sneeze at. So now Jason has the opportunity to take care of both threats that are on the table. Now, when we spoke with Seth before, one thing that he did mention is that quite often people will use cards like Strip Mine against the factories, where in his deck it's actually more important to use something like Strip Mine on the colored mana sources. So let's see what Jason is going to do. He is tapping the Library of Alexandria to flip his Chaos Orb. He is using his Strip Mine for something, most likely the Darrellor. So let's see how this flip goes. Bringing it right up to the camera. Bam. Like text. Like clockwork. Textbook flip right there. Landed exactly where it needed to go. And then the Strip Mine does get rid of the colored mana source. So there we go. Now, Seth plays a City of Brass. So anytime he taps it, he will have to take some damage. And that means that he will have to think about it anytime that he wants to attack with that factory if the City of Brass is the only thing on the table. So it looks like he is going to tap it right now and cast a Chain Lightning. That means that Jason is going down to 11. Now, this is a good time to cast the Chain Lightning because Jason has a bunch of red in his deck. So that means that Seth caught Jason at a point where Jason could not throw that Chain Lightning back to deal 3 damage back at Seth. So good move on Seth's part there. Alright, now Jason has double red, double blue, 2 volcanic islands. So he does have some counter magic in his deck, 4 counter spells and a mana drain. Don't know if he's got it in his hand, but there's nothing wrong with bluffing. And nothing wrong with having 2 blue up when you have counter spells in your hand or in your deck, because it will sometimes make your opponent think twice about what they want to do. Alright, so Seth is deciding what he wants to do. Alright, he's paying a white and bringing out a Savannah Lion. So 2-1 for 1. Pretty aggressive creature. One of the most aggressive creatures in Old School Magic. 2-1 for 1 mana. It's only eclipsed by the, of course, Kurt Ape, which is a 2-3 for 1 mana if you have a forest on the table. And Jason deciding that he does not want that Savannah Lion to come and join the party, so he does cast a counterspell. Alright, Jason untaps and draws. Alright, Badlands. Alright, tapping, untapping, there we go. Mind Twist for 3. And only 3 cards in Seth's hand, so now down to 0 cards. Alright, Strip Mine, so activates the factory, swings for 2. That brings Jason down to 19 to 18. Sorry, 9. Excuse me, 9 to 18. Okay, factory from Jason. That could block the other factory. Chances are that it's going to get stripped away, I would assume. Jason has 2 cards in hand. Seth is in top deck mode. Now he has 1 card in hand. And let's see if he does anything with that card. Seth in the tank here does have a lot of options. He could say go. He could activate the factory with either the Strip Mine or the city. And he could possibly cast the card that is in his hand. So instead he says go, passes the turn. Jason now up to 3 cards in hand. And activating his Mishra's factory. And that will that'll bring Seth down to 16. No blocking from Seth. Lotus and a Guardian Beast. It's a good one. Guardian Beast is a 2/4, and like we said before the match started. Hey Damien, how you doing? Gives non-creature artifacts he controls indestructible. The biggest thing is the Chaos Orb, which is in the graveyard, so that is definitely a good thing for Seth that is in the graveyard. Seth took a point to cast a Time Lock there, so. And 2/4 for a 4 mana. I mean, it's a decent sized body. So, all right, Seth taking a point from the City of Brass to cast the Chain Lightning, and then dealing 3 damage to Jason. All right, 14-6. All right, and then Jason is throwing it back. Okay, that's good. So it is 11-6. Looks like a little bit of a discussion going on. Oh. Not sure what happened there. Okay. Connection issue, apparently. But seems like everything is okay now. Alright, so Jason untaps. It appears that Jason is doing all right, with the exception of that low life total. 6 life against an aggressive deck is not too good. But all right, so Jason is plays a Ruby and activates his factory and attacks for 4. Seth has a choice here. Jason has 1 card in hand. All right, so he's going to take the 4. So that brings him down to 7. And Jason is at 6. So he passes. Seth draws another Mishra's Factory. So that means that he could do something here if he wants to. He could attack, get Jason down to 6, but we will have to see what he decides to do. He does have to protect his own life total as well, so. Now, the active factory, the one that didn't just come in, can be activated, and on defense, it can tap itself, become a 3/3, and then the other factory can make it a 4/4. So it can swallow up the Guardian Beast, or it could block and kill the opposing factory. So we'll have to see what happens. Not sure if Seth thinks that there is a removal spell in Jason's hand. It is possible that there is. It is possible that there isn't. So we'll have to see. Now, one thing that Seth does not want to do, Seth has both draw 7s in his deck with Wheel of Fortune and Time Twister. And Seth does not want to get more cards in Jason's hand. Getting him 7 cards means not only is the library active, but since Jason is playing with some red spells, that means that he could end up burning Seth out. So might as well make Jason earn the victory as opposed to just giving it to him on a silver platter. Alright, so it is now Jason's turn, I believe, and he is in the tank. 2 cards in hand. Yes, it's his turn. Okay, so he's activating the factory and he is attacking with both of his creatures. Okay, so if both creatures got through, then a lightning bolt seals the deal. Okay, so Seth is activating the factory that is not sick, but tapping the City of Brass to do so. And I'm going to assume he is going to block the Guardian Beast with that factory and do what I said. Pump itself, pump with the other factory, and then he could strip Jason's factory, because the Guardian Beast A only counts if it's untapped, and B doesn't protect artifact creatures. So, all right, and that's exactly what he did. Now Seth is probably going to pump. Yep. So that makes the factory a 3/3 that is blocking the 2/4. And is he going to pump again? With the possibility of taking out the Guardian Beast. We will see. We will see. In the tank about what he wants to do. Jason with 2 cards in hand. Alright, Seth is in fact doing it. Alright, so Jason has the bolts. But the Guardian Beast has been blocked, so it doesn't take any... It does not get through for anything extra, but it does survive. Alright, Mock Sapphire from Seth. Activating the factory and attacking for 2. And that means that Jason is down to 4. He is in Psyblast range now, with only 2 damage on the table. Alright, so both players are at 4. Seth is playing Psyblast in his deck. He's got 4 copies of it, so he could actually win the game here if Jason does not bolt him in response. Okay, Sedge Troll. Now, one thing with the way that Jason tapped, he did not leave 2 blue mana up. He left mana up to regenerate the troll, so he did tip his hand to say, I don't have a counterspell, so you need to win right here. That is a Twister out of Seth. So Seth goes down to 3. Bold move, because that means that Jason can win with a lightning bolt here. But it also means that, Seth could draw something and win as well. So let us see what happens. Shuffling their libraries and hands into... their graveyards and hands into their libraries. And each player is going to draw 7 cards. Now, Jason has 2 mana available. Seth has 0 mana available right now. But Seth has not played a land for the turn. So we will see what happens with this. Jason could win right here, right now. Or it could end up going in Seth's favor. Now, Seth obviously is facing down lethal damage from the 2 creatures. So using that Time Twister was a move that has to happen. So, I mean, he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. If he doesn't cast it, then he can't win. And he just loses. If he does do it, he gives his opponent the opportunity to win on this turn, but gives himself. So, it is definitely the right thing to do, but we will see what happens, and we'll see if Jason has a lightning bolt in his hand. Seth plays a plateau, so he does have a red source, and then does nothing. So, alright, game 1 goes to Seth. We didn't see what Jason had, but what Seth could have done, he had a red source. He could have, provided Jason didn't draw a burn spell, he could have bolted the troll during combat, forcing Jason to regenerate, only taking 2 from the Guardian Beast, and been at 1. I mean, there's no difference between 1 and 3, so it could have been a premature scoop, but we definitely do not know. But that puts Jason on the plus side, and he is up 1-0. All right, so let's take a look at our decks. So first we'll go with Seth. Now, out of the sideboard, Seth has a copy of Library of Alexandria, 2 copies of City in a Bottle, 2 copies of Swords to Plowshares, 2 copies of the Divine Offering, 3 blue elemental blasts, 4 blue elemental blasts, excuse me. Another Order of Leaper to go with the 2 that are in the main deck, Sarah Angel to go with the one that's in the main deck, a Earthquake, and a Braid Geyser here. So, one thing is that Seth is not all that concerned with the Arabian Nights cards in this matchup, so he will forego the 2 copies of City in a Bottle. Those will not come in. So the Swords of Plowshares will probably be coming in. The Blue Elemental Blast will probably be coming in. The Sarah Angel is probably coming in as well. Possibly those Divine Offerings. Those Divine Offerings could end up being really good to get rid of discs. And then we've got Jason's deck. So Jason is also running a City in a Bottle in his sideboard, but that is not very good against Seth. So that will not be coming in. Potentially that Control Magic could end up coming in, as well as some of the Blasts and the Terror. So those could end up being some really good things coming in. It's definitely possible that the Recall comes in, because getting back some of the cards and being able to recast them is pretty good. So we'll see what happens. But both of the players are very well tuned to their decks. They're excellent players, so I'm sure that they will definitely make the right decisions when it comes to what they are going to do with their respective decks. So let's take a look again at Seth's deck. Seth is probably going to take out some Chain Lightning, some number of Chain Lightnings, because his opponent does have the red mana, has the access to throw it back, so that makes Chain Lightning less good in this matchup. And then it's possible that something like a Psyblast comes out, maybe Daralore, because it's something that is just, it's tough to cast. I mean, it's great when he's got it, but not so great when he can't cast it. And then that Sarah Angel coming in is definitely something that could end up being pretty game breaking. And then of course Jason, not quite sure, probably that Transmute Artifact is going to come out, and Shatter isn't going to do much good against Seth, so we'll see what else he does decide to take out. Another thing is that Seth is probably going to take out some one or both of the draw 7s, because of the fact that his opponent is in fact playing with burn spells. So the more cards that the opponent can cast when they draw 7 cards, the less likely that draw 7 is going to end up being good for Seth. So all right, so let's reset the life totals. It looks like the players are just about ready to start. And Seth, on the receiving end of the beatdown, ended up losing that one. So he is going to be on the play. Now, one thing, too, just to note, is that City of Brass did a lot of damage to Seth. The exact same thing happened when Seth played against Pez, but the opposite. So Pez took a lot of damage from his own Cities of Brass, and Jason didn't have to take damage from his own permanents, and those couple of points of life could end up making the difference. So that's why something like Divine Offering might end up being pretty good in this matchup, because of the fact that the games could end up being really, really close. So we'll definitely see what happens here. I do appreciate everybody who is here. We are in the top 8 of the Old School Magic Summer Derby. We've got Seth Roncoroni on the top, Jason Seaman on the bottom. Jason took game number 1 with his Troll Disco deck. Seth will be on the play for this, so we will see what happens here, and we will see if we are going to get to play in a game number 3, or if Jason ends up taking this 2-0. Players splitting up their decks into 3 piles, offering a cut of sorts to their opponents, and now both of them drawing 7 cards. It looks like Seth has a couple of cards accidentally tipped over from his sideboard that are face up, and he's taking care of that. What do we got going on now? Not sure what happened. Alright, so Seth is taking a mulligan here. Okay. And appears that Jason is keeping his hand. Wondering if Jason is going to have another turn one Library of Alexandria. Much better on the play, or on the draw, than when there is no mulligan. Obviously, turn one Library is still pretty good, but when you are on the draw, it's even better because you can activate it right away. Alright, so Seth is shuffling up. And we will see what happens. For those of you who couldn't tell, Seth is playing on the floor. Seth actually does that quite frequently, where he will kneel down and play on the floor against his opponents. Seth is actually visiting family, so he is not home at the moment. So he is at a family member's home, and he has set this up so that brought his webcam and such so that he could go ahead and still play. So kudos to him for doing that and making sure that we don't hold up the Old School Magic Summer Derby. Alright, so let's see what Seth is going to do with this. Alright, another mulligan. Okay. Now, Seth is of the camp to aggressively mulligan. It is definitely something that has done well for him in the past. I do not expect that this mulligan is going to hurt him at all, and he is definitely going to look for specific cards or specific lines of play when it comes to his mulligans. Perhaps he does want to get like an early lion. That could end up being pretty good, or some kind of turn one threat. Maybe that's what he's trying to do with his mulligan decisions. Savannah Lion can do a lot of damage if left unchecked. So this is the magic you like to see and not, but not like to play, Damien. Yeah, it's it's really good when you have two high caliber players playing some top tier decks, because you know that you're in for a good show. You know that you're in for a good match, and obviously you're expecting to see some top caliber play. Especially, I mean, it's the top 8 of the Old School Magic Summer Derby. This isn't just just random Wednesday night event or whatnot. This is a big event. I mean, there were over 300 people in this tournament, I believe. So definitely some good players that have earned their way into this top 8. So all right, Seth drawing another hand of cards, and let's see what we've got here. Another mulligan. So the more cards that Seth mulligans away, the better off this is for Jason. Now, if Seth kept in the draw 7s, he could end up with a situation where he goes Lotus into a draw 7, which could end up screwing over Jason and could get him well ahead. But again, he could be mulliganing to just some kind of aggression in the early game. Now, notably, Seth is not running Serendib Afreet, and part of that is that he did not want to have his threats be called to a city in a bottle. So he's running Savannah Lions, Orders of Leaper, and Sarah Angels, all white threats, and he does not have to worry about Gloom. So Gloom is a card that makes white spells cost 3 more to cast, and all white enchantments 3 more to activate. But when all your threats are white, All of your permanent threats are white. It just basically begs the question, are you going to play Gloom against me? Are you going to play it? Did you even have it in your sideboard? So, alright, so Seth with his other mulligan, drawing 7 cards now. Let's see what he's got. Is he going to keep or is he going to ship? I'm going to assume he's going to keep this and put 3 cards on the bottom. Oh, 4 cards on the bottom. Oh, 4 cards he's keeping. Oh, there we go. 3 on the bottom, 4 cards he's keeping, and away we go. There it is. Factory, Bolt, and then Wheel of Fortune. So, how is that for a start on a mulligan to 4? And look at that. Look at those cards going away. 7 new cards. So Jason is taking 3 points of damage from that lightning bolt down to 17. Seth had a great mulligan, a great start. And now with 7 cards in hand, he goes Mox Ruby and a Chain Lightning to deal 3 more. Wow, what a mulligan to 4. That is absolutely amazing. One of the cards that Jason got rid of was a Mind Twist, which would have been absolutely brutal against Seth, especially on that mulligan. So we don't know if Jason is on tilt. We don't know how badly this helped or hurt Jason, but that was definitely great for Seth. So okay, so Seth goes and has a Tundra now and says go. 6 cards in hand. Another Mox from Jason. No land drop. Okay, so Side Blast. So Jason down to 10, 18 for Seth. Maybe. I'm on the assumption that it's resolving, but maybe it's not. Mana drain. Okay. Alright, so 20 to 14. So Jason's going to get 3 colorless mana at the beginning of his pre-combat main phase. And we'll see if he can do something with that mana. Yeah, definitely so. Steam Flogger, Ross, this was pretty great. So, Strip Mine on the Volcanic Islands. Seth recognizing when drawing that Strip Mine that Jason did not play a second land, so that is definitely the right play. Let's see if he swings with that Factory. Might as well make him have it, right? Make him have the Bolt. He does have it. And a Blue Blast. So, Jason is going to take 2, down to 12. Alright. So, Jason with a red and blue Mox on the table. Seth has a Mishra's Factory, a Mox Ruby, and a Tundra. Jason untaps. Jason has 3 mana in his mana pool. Let's see what he can do. 2 mana goes into the Sedge Troll plus a red, and he is going to take 1 point of burn down to 11. Sedge Troll is just a 2/2. Jason does not have a swamp on the table to give it that +1/+1, and he does not have the ability to regenerate. So, Chain Lightning, targeting probably the Sedge Troll met with a Blue Blast. Good defensive play from Jason. Again, Seth basically saying, I'm going to make you have it. So, alright, so Seth is going to take a point, and he is going to bolt the Sedge Troll, and then play out Alliance and say go. So, this game looks like it is in Seth's favor quite a bit. Jason untaps and says go. Now, 2 threats on Seth's side of the table. starting off with a disenchant on the red mox and bolt out of Jason in response to kill the lion, and then a swing for 2 from Seth. So Seth is at 18 because of the fact that he tapped that CD brass, and now we have a factory on Jason's side of the table. So, and Seth comes out with another factory. Okay, Jason taking 2, down to 7, making it 3. Okay, down to 6. Jason draws a card. Does he have another mana source? No, he does not. Alright, so Seth activates Factory and goes to swing. Yep. Alright. Jason activates his Factory. Before blockers, Seth has a lightning bolt. So Factory gets pumped up. 1, 2, 3. Down to 3 on Jason's side of the table. Not long for this world. Alright, another Factory from Jason. At least it's a blocker for a turn. Activating the Factory from Seth, turning it sideways. Jason has to activate and block. Seth pumps up the Factory with his other Factory. Jason's Factory was sick, so he couldn't pump up. So his Factory goes away, and now Seth has 2 Factories on the table with his opponent at 3 life. So let's see what we have here. Plateau. I'm going to assume that both Factories are going to be activated. Both Factories will be activated. And attacking for 4. And Jason just scoops. So, just like that, we have tied up the match. That was an excellent mulligan. Down to 4 from Seth, where he played Factory, Lotus, cracked the Lotus for red, Bolt, casting a Wheel of Fortune, and Jason discards a bunch of mana sources and a Mind Twist, among other things, and just cannot recover. So here we are going into game number 3. This has been an excellent match, back and forth. So we will see if the players are going to make any other adjustments. It does not look like either player is going into their sideboard. So while they are shuffling up, let's take a look at the decks. So first things first, we're going to look at Jason's deck here. He is playing Troll Disco, so named because of Sedge Troll and Never Narrow's Disc. So the key cards here are Never Narrow's Disc comes into play tapped, but you tap it to destroy all artifacts, creatures, and lands, and because it is a destruction effect, the Sedge Troll can regenerate for 1 black mana and basically live to tell the tale. So it is definitely something that can end up working out well in Jason's favor. Now, Troll Disco is like a mid-range control deck and wants to get ahead, keep threats off the table, and then control the board. So that's what Jason did in game number 1, but not so much in game number 2. Now, what Seth did in game number 2 was that he played a Factory. After a mulligan to 4, goes Factory, Lotus, cracked the Lotus for red, Lightning Bolt, and then cast Wheel of Fortune. So, gave him 7 new cards, made Jason discard the 7-card hand that he kept. And that ended up hurting Jason in the long run because of the fact that Jason did not have the mana to do anything, and Seth did. So, excellent play from Seth. Good mulliganing to get to a situation where he could end up doing such a play. So, all right. So both players have shuffled up and they are getting ready and raring to go for game number 3. You guys are here for an excellent match so far. It is 1-1, and we will see who takes game number 3 to advance to the top 4 of the Old School Magic Summer Derby. Some discussions here. Seth making some other sideboarding decisions. Has not presented his deck, so this is all well and good here. So has not presented the deck. Did not cut it into 3 piles to offer the cut. So that is not presenting the deck, so he can make some sideboarding decisions that are different from what he was doing before. And now he is trading, it looks like a card or 2 to see if he can do something different and change his game plan. There's not much you can do to prepare for a Lotus into a draw 7 on turn 1 from the opponent. So nothing Jason could do there. I think that obviously he made the right keep, and especially with Seth mulliganing the Mind Twist that Jason ended up discarding to that Wheel of Fortune could have been devastating had it not been for the Wheel of Fortune. So Mind Twist is a backbreaking card, of course. So we'll see. So Mind Twist is black and X. Target player discards X cards at random. It is something that is restricted in Old School Magic. In many formats of Old School Magic, it is banned in some as well, such as Gentleman's Old School and Paladin Magic. And you saw it in game number 1. That even sometimes making somebody discard 3 or 4 cards is enough. Getting rid of somebody's hand or most of the cards in their hand, and it's at random, is definitely a huge thing. It is harder to come back from, but Jason did not have the opportunity to cast that in game number 2 because of that Wheel of Fortune. So let's see. Seth is going ahead and presenting his deck now. And we are cutting. And we will see. Now Jason is on the play. So both games have gone to the player who is on the play. So let's see. Earthworm Djinn will be on the map somewhere. Yes. For those who are not aware of what Bruins is talking about, Bruins played a deck with Worms of the Earth and Urnum Djinn called Earthworm Djinn. And it was a fun deck to see get played, and that was pretty cool. So for those who do not already follow Bruins on Instagram, Bruins545, head on over to Instagram and follow him there. He posts old school content on the regular, so you will not be disappointed when it comes to that. And he likes to play the spicy decks too, so appreciate the support that you give me, and maybe you'll get some new followers from this Bruins. Alright, so Jason went Volcanic into Lotus and then said go. Seth drew, and let's see what he's going to do. Seth must have a bunch of different decisions. Okay, Plateau. Forward black bordered plateau. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Savannah lines. Okay, so Seth has a threat on the table and drops a Lotus of his own. Are we going to see anything else? Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so 2 blue for that Lotus, and counterspell on the wheel. not giving the opportunity for that. So Jason is going to take a point of mana burn for that. Okay, Mox, Demonic Tutor. And what are we going to see? Are we going to see a land into an Ancestral Recall? That would be a heck of a play, not going to lie. Jason possibly deciding to take something different. He might have the Ancestral in his hand and needs a source of mana? Or maybe he has a source of mana and went for the Ancestral. Either way, I'm sure that we'll find out pretty soon what it is that Jason went for. Whether we can guess what he went for when he casts it, or if it just we see an Ancestral right here and now. Okay, offering a cut. And let's see. Land Ancestral. Okay. Alright, so he may have tutored for the land and already had the Ancestral, because tutoring for the guaranteed mana source as opposed to just assuming that he would draw land, because if he didn't draw land there, he would have been behind, and that would not have been good. So, all right, swinging for 2, down to 17. Seth playing a land. Can't quite tell what it is. And then saying, oh, it's a Mishra's Factory. Okay. Alright, Jason plays a Strip Mine that gets rid of the Plateau. Plays a Mox and a Never Narrows Disc. Good call. Okay, so let's see. Alright, activating the factory and swinging with the factory and the lions. 4 more damage, down to 13 for Jason. Can't quite tell if that's another factory or if that is a strip mine on Seth's side of the table. Looks like he's having some slight internet connection issues, but we'll see. Okay, Guardian Beast. Now, Guardian Beast will protect the Moxen and the disc, while the beast itself will get blown up. But that means that Jason can, in fact, use the disc twice at the cost of basically sacrificing the Guardian Beast. So. Seth in the tank here definitely doesn't want to activate that factory, because that factory will become an artifact creature and will succumb to the Never Narrows disc. So that is a strip mine, it looks like, on the table. Swinging for 2, block with the Guardian Beast. Okay. Guardian Beast is a 2/4. Think Seth just had a brain fart there when it came to that attack. Unless he has a red source in hand. Looks like a Mox Pearl. And a balance. 2 lands. 3 cards, no creatures. Activate the disc in response. Okay, gets rid of the pearl. Alright, so Jason has to go down to 2 lands. And I'm sure that he's going to sacrifice the island. I'm going to assume that strip mine's going to take care of one of the dual lands. Maybe. 2 cards at hand for each player now. Seth's probably debating on whether or not he wants to cast that, use that strip mine. Yep, there he goes. Alright, so probably going on the volcanic. Oh, no, going for the black source. Okay. Going for the swamp. Alright, so that makes it so that he would have that Jason would have to draw another swamp if he does in fact have a Sedstrel. But he did draw a swamp because there is a Badlands. So Seth is not doing so hot here. Draws a strip mine and says go. Against Jason with an untapped disc and 2 Moxen. Seth has no colored mana sources with just a strip mine and a Mishra's Factory. So what Seth needs to do is draw a white source and a disenchant effect. Looks like Jason just drew a card and said go. So we will see what Seth has here. Yeah, Seth definitely having some connection issues due to probably to the Wi-Fi that he is using. So, all right, factory from Jason now. Seth going through his graveyard, taking a peek. Another colorless mana source with another strip mine. So. Seth doing his best to foil any opposing Felwar stones. Jason activating the factory, swinging for 2. Seth just taking it down to 18. Jason's kind of daring Seth to use the strip mine. Excuse me. Alright, tapping the factory for mana for a Soul Ring. Now, for those who are not aware, all of Seth's restricted cards that are available in Summer Magic, he has in Summer Magic. And then all of his Savannah lines are also from Summer Magic. Summer Magic is the error printing of Revise that was recalled. So, pretty cool looking cards. And they are the tip top when it comes to misprint cards. And they are misprints, they are white bordered revised, they are really snazzy. So, Jason swinging again with the factory for 2. Seth takes it, bringing him down to 16. Whoops. Seth still having trouble with colored mana. Seth might have used all of his luck there in game number 2. And the fact that Jason countered the Wheel of Fortune here in game number 3 means that, Seth could have been 7 cards deeper by now. Who knows what a difference this game would be if that Wheel of Fortune had resolved. Okay. Seth using a strip mine on the volcanic island. Yes, yeah. Summer Magic did have a hurricane that has a blue frame. Seth taking a point of damage to cast an Ancestral Recall now that he finally has a colored mana source that is the City of Brass. Yeah, so the Hurricane has a blue frame. It looks absolutely gorgeous. The Serendib Efreet from Summer Magic has the original art, has the correct art, but is white bordered and is English. So there are two English versions of Serendib Efreet with the Enigmatics art. Summer Magic being the other one besides Arabian Nights. And then one of the most well-known misprints, of course, is the Jesper Mirfor's, right? I believe he did the artwork on Ifbif Efreet that accidentally got swapped somehow when Revise is printed, so that Ifbif Efreet appears on the Serendib art for all revised versions of Serendib Efreet. So, yeah, Blue Hurricane is tippy top when it comes to Summer Magic cards. So, it is lots of expensive, we'll just say. I own one total Summer Magic card. It is a Summer Tranquility. I grabbed that, and I now have an Alpha Tranquility, a Beta Tranquility, a foreign black bordered Tranquility, and a Summer Magic Tranquility, and that is my playset. That was not on purpose that happened. I wanted to make sure that if I owned a Summer Magic card, it was something that I was gonna play, something I was gonna see play. So that's the one I got. So all right, Seth's taking some damage to cast a tutor. He's already cast Ancestral Recall, so maybe he's going to go for a draw 7. Now, if he does go for a draw 7, I'm not sure which draw 7 he would go for. Obviously, Time Twister would be ideal here if it resolves, because he has the mana to cast it right here and right now. However, Jason has City of Brass and 2 red mana sources, so Red Elemental Blast would ruin Seth's day if he tries to cast it. Oh yeah, and never mind. The only draw 7 left in his deck is the Time Twister, because the Wheel of Fortune got countered. So yeah. So again, that Demonic Tutor is Summer Magic, and if I'm not mistaken, the pentagram is not on the Summer Magic version of Demonic Tutor. Somebody might be able to correct me if I'm wrong there. Alright, so not sure what Seth tutored for, but we will find out probably here pretty soon. Jason has Power Sync. Oh, he does have one Power Sync in the deck, yes. So Jason could Power Sync here. He could Red Elemental Blast. It doesn't really matter what Seth has. So we'll see what happens. Seth might be going for a Red Elemental Blast. So that, or Blue Elemental Blast to counter. If he anticipates a blue counter spell, then he could go for a Red Elemental Blast so that he can use his draw 7 next turn. Jason doesn't have any threats on the table. Obviously, the disc is a threat, but Jason doesn't want to pop that disc right now because he would get rid of both of his Moxen. He's only got 2 mana sources on the table other than that. So, Mazavith. Alright, that'll keep some creatures at bay for Seth. Seth has already used, 3 of his Strip Mines now? So, alright, 2 mana from Seth. He's casting a Time Walk. Probably going to bait out a counterspell with that, hoping for something. And then if he plays... There's the Twister. Yeah. Jason's Oh, bolt. Okay. No blast. So Jason having a lot of discipline there, and Seth showing a lot of discipline as well. And now both players are drawing 7 cards. This has turned into an excellent game. This match has been absolutely amazing. So, quite a bit of back and forth. Now, Seth has the active Library of Alexandria as soon as he draws these 7 cards. And has not played a land for the turn, so he can actually activate the Library of Alexandria right now. That Library of Alexandria came out of Seth's sideboard for this matchup. So, Seth is at 10, Jason is at 13. Now, Seth has more firepower in his deck when it comes to direct damage, but Jason has so many defensive cards when it comes to the counter spells and the bolts and such. So we'll see what happens. This has been absolutely excellent. I'm glad that you guys joined us and are able to watch this happen live on the stream, because this has been an amazing night so far of Magic, and I appreciate you all being here for this top 8 match from the Old School Magic Summer Derby. Okay, so Jason draws his 7. Seth is drawing his 7. He's drawing an 8th card. No mulligans when it comes to Time Twister. Sorry. Whether or not you like him doesn't matter. Seth has not played a land, so it looks like he's about to. And then he will probably say go. Yeah, plays another factory. And then passes. Oh, yeah. He had that time walk too, so there he goes. Alright, 8 cards in hand. He took his extra turn. He's got to do something before he can activate that Library of Alexandria, but something tells me that he'll probably do something. Alright. Playing a Mox Ruby. Has not played a land, so activating the Library of Alexandria to draw an 8th card. And we will see what happens. He doesn't want to attack with the factories because the disc is still live. So activating the factories means that all of the artifacts will go away and all the lands. Add insult to injury. Let's draw the Ancestral Recall too. Okay, so point to Jason for the City of Brass going down to 12. Red Blast on the Ancestral Recall. Jason saying, no, Seth, you have drawn way too many cards. You've drawn 2 extra cards from the Library of Alexandria. You drew 7 cards as well from the Time Twister. You don't need to draw 3 cards from the Ancestral Recall as well. Bruin's saying he is a big fan of Troll. Absolutely. Absolutely. You still can't count out this deck. Especially, it is a mid-range control deck. It can draw some lands here and just control the game, control the board, or whatnot. So, all right. So Jason casting lightning bolt, and Seth casting a lightning bolt. My fault. And Jason going down to 9. And I believe that. Okay, tapping the Soul Ring. Can't quite see what's going on there. Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Summer Magic Wheel of Fortune. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, so Seth discarding some lands, and Jason discarding some decent cards, including a Brain Geyser that he couldn't cast. So, Seth refilling his hand. Quite the set of turns. So, and then Seth has taken a point for tapping that City of Brass. So, 9s apiece. And we will see what happens here. So, no lands can be played. I don't think that Seth wants to play any more artifacts, unless he just wants to force Jason to pop that disc. But I don't think that that would be a great idea here. That disc is holding back a lot of things right now. Both players with 7 cards in hand. Seth in the tank. That Mazavith could present a problem in the near future, but is not an issue right this second. However, Seth may want to get rid of it or the Badlands. The Badlands is a swamp, so that means that it will pump up the Sedge Troll, and it makes it so that Jason would take damage if he tapped a city. But no, instead Jason is getting rid of the City of Brass. So Seth not giving any access to blue mana to Jason. So, all right, Jason cast a lightning bolt, and Seth takes 3 down to 6. Are we going to see 6 more points of damage? Seth only has colorless mana available this turn, so we'll see what happens. Seven cards in Seth's hand, 7 cards in Jason's hand. Jason in the tank here. Did he not draw a land, or is he trying to decide on what land to play? Nevinyrral's Disc just hanging out there, looming large. Jason pops the disc. He goes down to 1 mana source and a Mazavith. Gets rid of 3 mana sources from Seth, but then Seth will have 2 factories. So Nevinyrral's Disc is going to stay put for now. Seth is playing with Disenchants and probably has Divine Offerings as well in after the sideboard, so who knows. Oh, popping the disc. Okay, Soul Ring and the 2 Moxen go away on Seth's side, and the 2 Moxen and the disc go away on Jason's side. So, interesting play here. Now, Jason playing a Volcanic Island, Sedge Troll. He must have floated mana. Okay. Alright, so scary turn for Jason here because he cannot regenerate his troll. The troll is a 3/3, so if Seth played a mana source and activated both factories, then the Mazavith would take care of one, the Sedge Troll would take care of the other. Blue Elemental Blast on the Sedge Troll while it can't be regenerated. Outstanding play. Mazavith still holding back the Mishra's Factories. Life totals are 9 to 6 in Jason's favor. Let's see what we can do here. Not sure what Seth is thinking about. Looks like he just says go. Excellent game, excellent match. I appreciate everybody who joined us. This has been quite the back and forth. Lots of things going on. Jason taking game 1, Seth taking game 2. This game is still anybody's. Alright, so Jason plays a Mishra's Factory, plays a Chaos Orb, and then it looks like he is activating the Chaos Orb. Do we have a response from Seth? Yes. So Seth is going to take a point of damage, going down to 5, and casting a disenchant on the Chaos Orb. So, one thing with the errata to Chaos Orb has to be on the table in order for you to flip it. So, a disenchant in response to the activation means that Chaos Orb isn't around to be flipped, so the Chaos Orb cannot destroy anything. Not quite sure what happened there. Was there a bolt? Yeah. And it is a Psyblast. So it looks like that Seth takes that 2-1, and we will go back into the players. Congratulations on that. That was an outstanding match, gentlemen. Thank you very much for allowing me to stream that. That had to have been great for the players.
It was the tightest match I've played the entire dirt.
Oh man, that was amazing. So that
mulligan
to 4 with the bolt and
your wheel
the
and bolt and chain
absolutely destroyed Jason's hand.
Yeah, that was.
It happens. I was sitting on a mind twist, so my plan was similar. So.
Right.
I just had to go aggressive because I lost.
The more he mulliganed, the more you're probably thinking, "Oh, this mind twist is going to be awesome. This mind twist is going to be awesome." And then all of a sudden, it's get rid of those mana sources in that mind twist, and let's play a different game of Magic.
Yeah, Lotus wheel, and yeah. Oh well. Such is Magic.
So.
3, 4, 5.
Well, I don't know how the bracket has shaped up. I know that there was another top 8 match earlier today. I don't know if it's your opponent, Seth, or not, but congrats on making the top 4.
Oh, thank you.
Jason, congratulations to you on making it this far, making it to the top 8. Your deck is absolutely amazing, and you've actually played some really, really good games. So,
Yeah, that was by far the toughest match I played the entire game.
That was amazing to watch. That was absolutely amazing to watch.
Thank you. I feel like I just got slaughtered with the wheels there, but yeah.
It made for good content on the stream. I know it probably stings for you, Jason, but
it's fine.
Yeah, it definitely made for good content on the stream. So
yeah, that was. And you were right, Jason. It was library. That's the first time I brought it in that game 3 because I was on the draw, and that's the only time I've seen it the entire game tournament.
It paid off that game. I certainly wasn't going to bring a city a bottle or anything in to worry about it. So
right, yeah.
But with the wheels, it was
better to be lucky than good. But thank you for the great games, Jason. Those were. I'm sweating over here.
Yeah, no, those were. Yeah, super swingy. So.
All right.
I'm having trouble hearing for whatever reason. I don't know why. The audio is really rough. It's probably my internet, but.
Yeah, I don't know. Apologies if it's on my end. There were a couple times and I just would shout a little bit, so hopefully that was okay for you.
Well, gentlemen, again, thank you very much for that. That was an excellent match. Thank you for allowing me to stream it. Again, congratulations, Jason, on making it this far, making the top 8. That is no small feat at all when it comes to how large the event is. Congratulations, Seth, on this victory, bringing you to the top 4.
I think you'll end up probably playing Svant. Isn't that the way it'll pair up? Assuming he wins, but I think that's a favored matchup for him. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I think I'm in the bottom. Like I'm in like the 4 seed spots. I think it should go against the first whoever's in that
first
spot.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end the stream. You guys can continue to talk here in the room. All right. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
No worries.
That's all she wrote. So congratulations to Seth for making that amazing run, that amazing game 2, coming back in game number 3. So Seth is your winner here tonight. I appreciate everybody who joined the stream. Again, if you haven't already done so, please make sure you follow. You can join me every Tuesday night for my regularly scheduled stream. I play 3 rounds of Old School Magic on Tuesday nights as a part of the Tuesday night gauntlet with the Northern Paladins. So turn on those notifications so that you know when I go live. Coming up, I have one more stream on Sunday for the Final Fantasy Randomizer Duckling Derby, Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. It is race number 4, my quest to make it into the top 10 of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Duckling Derby. We've taken, Final Fantasy Randomizer takes the NES game Final Fantasy, the original, speeds it up, shuffles things around, and that's the general gist of it. The Duckling program is for newer players. They help develop the players, and hopefully that I can make it into the top 10. I am currently tied for 10th place. Looking to make it into the top 10. That was my goal going in as well. I love Final Fantasy Randomizer. I love the original Final Fantasy. So I'm looking forward to that. So with that, everybody, thank you very much. Hope you all have a great night. I will see you next time. Take care.